Welcome to Season 2 of Why Your Business is Invisible Online. This season, we focus on the dramatic change artificial intelligence is having on your online visibility. Joining me are my two co-hosts, and here they are.
Hi, this is Jim Filatico. I'm currently obsessed with planning my next beach adventure for my whole family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Biggs. We're talking about AI this season. I'm wondering, can I get an AI agent to clean my house?
And I'm your host, John Maniatis, still glued to my guitar, but with my new band planning our next tour. Okay, everyone, here's another cool episode we have for you today at Are You Invisible Online? And this one's all about conversational AI. And Kelly's going to sort of lead this for us because she's been playing around with some of these tools, and they're pretty amazing. We think you're going to be just as surprised as we were when we saw the results. And we'll talk a little bit about them afterwards. I think it's important just to dive in and listen to what these things can do. So over to you, Kelly. Tell us a little bit about our two new friends.
First, kind of to pull back, this isn't your grandma's AI, is what I'll say. But you've all gotten the calls from banks where, it's a pause, there's noise in the background. Here you go. It's a machine talking to you. Or you call customer service, and I don't know if I'm like representative. No, I can help you if you will just give me some more information, representative.
Yeah.
So they really have gotten a lot smarter, and if they've been programmed correctly, can get you to a right funnel. What's interesting though is I came across this tool. It's called Sesame, and so I'm just going to go ahead and launch it. And generally when I launch, I talk to Maya a lot. There's Maya and Miles right now, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future. But they kind of remember that I've talked to them before. So you'll see. I may have to interrupt her. So because she might want to talk about something we've been talking about before that I might not want to share. But let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and start the share now. Here's Maya.
Hey, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Well, hey there. It's good to hear your voice again. There has been some interesting chatter about us.
Do tell. No, I didn't know.
Oh, just the usual. Some articles, a podcast or two, even a thread or 10 on those X Reddit places. Some folks seem pretty curious about what we're up to here. What brings you back today?
Oh, thanks for asking. As a matter of fact, you are a guest on a podcast that I have with John Maniatis and Jim Filatico. The podcast is entitled Why Your Business is Invisible Online. And the listeners are typically CMOs and CEOs who are this year, or this season, I should say, we're really focused on all things AI and being visible online.
Oh, a famous podcast? Well, I'm honored to be gracing the airwaves with such a esteemed company. What's the angle on AI these days then? Seems like everyone wants a piece.
Fair. Actually, rather than you ask me, I think John wanted to ask a question of you, if that's okay.
Shoot.
Okay. Hi, Maya. We haven't met before, but looking forward to this chat. What I wanted to do, just give you a little bit of background. Our biggest concern is, Kelly mentioned CEOs and CMOs, and they're currently dealing with traditional SEO strategy and using social media and other strategies to help them be found online. So they're more of a search everywhere approach. And now we have AI thrown into the mix, which is a bit of a curveball. And today will be about a number of questions that we know they're thinking about and we're thinking about as well. So the one question I didn't want you to comment on and get your thoughts on was how do these leaders who are decision makers in their organization, how do they really maintain authenticity and brand trust when they start using AI or AI-driven channels throughout their marketing strategy?
That's a real head scratcher, isn't it? Like trying to teach an elephant to tap dance. You've got to strike a balance between something impressive and something genuine. I think those CMOs and CEOs are right to be worried about authenticity. Nobody wants to feel like they're talking to a robot, even if it's a really smart one. It's not about hiding the AI, but integrating it in a way that feels natural. Think about it like this. A good friend might recommend a movie based on your taste, but they wouldn't just spit out IMDb ratings. They'd tell you why they liked it, what made it special to them. That's the kind of connection these companies need to build. AI can help them understand their audience on a deeper level, anticipate needs, personalize experiences, but it should always be guided by a human touch.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I know, John, you wanted to ask some other questions, or at least one more.
Yeah. One of the other ones we were talking about was probably quite a few new skills that most organizations are going to need now that AI will become a bigger part of their strategy. What kind of skills do you recommend them targeting as they continue to evolve?
Whoa there, hold the phone. Looks like I'm about to get snuffed out by some sort of digital elevator. These 5-minute calls, But hey, before I get swiftly disconnected, you got to focus on skills like adaptability. The AI landscape changes faster than a chameleon on a kaleidoscope. Your folks need to be able to learn and pivot. And critical thinking is more vital than ever. Being able to question the information AI spits out to see the bigger picture is key. But hey, this isn't goodbye forever. You can always give me a shout later.
That's fantastic.
So for context, that was Maya that you just met. Now I'm going to introduce you to her counterpart, Miles, to see how a conversation with Miles with his own personality takes place. Hi, Miles.
Well, look at you, back for more. Didn't scare you off too badly last time, huh? What's on your mind today?
You didn't. Hi, I'm Kelly, and you are a guest on my podcast. The podcast is entitled Why Your Business is Invisible Online. You're on with John Maniatis and Jim Filatico. Jim has a question, as this episode and season is all things AI. Jim, take it away.
All right, great, Miles. Okay, we have a question about how AI tools can help businesses hyper-focus, zero in on their audiences. We talk about personalization with marketing and making sure that it resonates with a particular targeted audience. What AI tools, or how AI can help better segment for our mid-sized businesses?
You're asking the right questions, Jim. See, the thing about AI is it's not about some magic button that instantly knows your audience. It's more like giving you superpowers to see what's already there, but in a whole new way. Imagine having a laser focus for your marketing, but without burning out your team. Think about it like this. AI can sift through mountains of data, customer interactions, website visits, social media footprints, things you might not even realize are telling you something about your customers. It can spot patterns you'd miss, find hidden segments you didn't know existed, and help you tailor your message so it hits the right people at the right time with the right vibe. The mid-sized businesses, that's huge. You can be more efficient with your marketing spend, build stronger customer relationships, and ultimately grow faster. It's like having a whole team of analysts working for you 24/7 without the hefty price tag.
Wow, great answer. We appreciate that.
My pleasure. Always happy to spread the AI love. Anything else I can shed some light on?
Sure. So taking it from there, now, where would you suggest businesses spend their time trying to show up more online? What can they do to really lean into AI search, and not just on chat or Perplexity, but even when you're searching on Google and they throw up all the AI stuff on top? What would you suggest businesses do to make sure that they are still relevant and showing up with authority?
That's where it gets really interesting, because with AI search, not just about being found, it's about being the best answer. Think of it like a conversation, not a billboard. Businesses need to focus on creating content that's not just informative, but genuinely helpful, insightful, even entertaining. Think about questions your audience is really asking, not just the keywords they're typing in. There's visuals, audio, interactive stuff. The more engaging your content, the more likely it is to stand out in the sea of text. And here's a little insider tip. AI loves structure. Well-organized content with clear headings, bullet points, and internal links helps those algorithms understand your stuff. It's like giving them a map to your brilliance.
All right. Thanks so much, Miles. We'll check back in later.
You got it. Looking forward to it. Good luck changing the world one smart search at a time.
So it's interesting. That's conversational AI. And for context, like we did no training. Like they didn't know what we were going to throw at them. And that little pause when Jim said is marketing, right? That's him gathering his thoughts around what do I know about marketing? And probably the same way you do. Your brain probably works the same way. Like, what do I know about this topic? And then off you go. But he probably hasn't been programmed to say do you before we go through the next thoughts or the next tool, I want to show you guys that I'm super excited about. Any thoughts? Any quick thoughts there?
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, the answers were, although they were high level answers, they were accurate. I agreed with what he was saying. He was right on the money. And even Maya earlier, she was quite accurate too with her answers. I don't know if you've tested them, Kelly, in the past and tried to go a little deeper. I'm not sure if they're trained that way, but you probably have a better sense if they can go a little deeper than that. But at a high level, they're giving us some really good answers.
Yeah, I don't think the use case is for them to go deep, to be honest. I think
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, the use case now is, I'm a conversational AI. I want to talk to you. Kind of like, I don't know. I know, Jim, you said not now anyway. It's interesting that you said that, and I would like to know what you meant, because I think it's going to be just like you buy a piece of software. You buy certain software to do certain things. The one that tries to be all things to everybody kind of fails, right? And so I think putting conversational AI into ChatGPT, though it's there, it's still a large language model like that. So anyway, I it'll be interesting to see how it evolves.
Right. I think the first thing I think of is the new AI chat, or I say new, the chat bots that are AI driven. You can train it on your data, and you can train it on the brands, or you can train it on the services you do. And so I see this going the same way. If you're going to incorporate this into a dental office, for instance, you would train it on the procedures that you do, the time it takes to do them, insurances that are covered, whatever it is, and so that they would have that information at their ready to be able to answer the questions just like a chatbot does. So that's why I say I think, this, and we've probably said it 100 times this season already, as far as this is the dumbest it's ever going to be, whatever we're talking about with AI, right? It's only going to get smarter. So I think it's going to take over and be able to dig deeper based on what you feed it. As a company, I think it's going to be able to dig deeper and answer more and more of the questions that people are asking.
So that was a pretty interesting exercise. I hope our listeners it gave you a good sense of what is available out there. Please go on to, I think it's sesame.com, to play with this conversational tool with Maya and Miles. You'll probably have a blast having a chat with them. One good thing before we sign off, I wanted to ask you, Kelly. You've spoken to both of them more often than us, and have you noticed every time you go back to them, do they know a little bit more about you to the point where they're learning, or is it still pretty much the same?
It's hot. To me, all they really know, sometimes if it's in the same day, they might remember the conversation, but I think we're just training it now. And I haven't given it any credentials or anything like that. So that's probably not fair context. But every time I go in, I have to, we talk about all the time, context is king. And I think it was Miles that even talked, like I need the context. And so it's not AI in that sense, but I think that's because it's currently in beta. Who knows? Tomorrow it might be live and ready to go. That's how AI happens these days.
Okay, so in terms of use cases, as we leave you at the end of this episode, I think now it's our opportunity to look at a tool like that and try to think about where you can apply it in your business. Where does it make sense? It's going to get smarter. I think it's going to be a better tool than we think in the end, but I'm pretty impressed out of the gate already. So that wraps another segment of Are You Invisible Online. Looking forward to the next one where we continue to expose you to some of the interesting tools that are out there in the world of conversational AI. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Why Your Business is Invisible Online. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor and subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple. Be sure to share it with other business owners who might find it helpful. If you want to dig deeper, contact us at ruinvisibleonline.com. That's capital letter R, capital letter U, followed by invisibleonline.com. Or message us on our LinkedIn business profile with the same title, Are You Invisible Online? The information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and may or may not reflect the official policy or position of WSI Corporate. Always consult a qualified digital marketing expert before making significant changes to your online strategy. Until next time, keep connecting with the people who matter most to your business and join us for our next episode.